Hey guys, Christian from Treasure Town here, and today we're going to be doing yet another $50 of pennies. I've really been having fun. We've had some great searches with these pennies, and I'm going to just get into it. We're going to be looking for Indian head cents, Lincoln wheat pennies, errors, foreigns, anything cool. And as I mentioned on our last episode, we are going to be filling out that folder behind me, or a similar one to it. So I'll look forward to seeing how far we can get with that, and I'll see you in the rest of the video. Just cracked open those two boxes and took a look at the enders. We got 3 of them total. But first, these are the folders that we're going to be trying to fill out throughout these series whenever I'm hunting pennies. It's just wheat pennies from 1909 to 1958. But in terms of enders, we got something from the 40s right there with no mint mark. And then we got a wheat penny back, a reverse, and then a 1956 D. So that D means from Denver, wheat penny. So we'll see what that means for the rest of the box, but we've had some pretty good hunts, so I'm hoping that that luck continues today. And after 3 rolls, we're going to get our first reveal today. This one was just sitting in the middle of the roll. Doesn't look too old and is not a 1946. Definitely one of the most common dates that we find in this series, but hey, it's a good way to get started in terms of the ones that we didn't know about on the ends of the rolls. Very next roll, we have the chance to get yet another reveal, so I'm just going to bring this one to the camera. And another 1946, so not too much variety there, but it's another wheat. And things have been really quiet over the last maybe 8 or so rolls, but we're going to get a older Canadian reveal right now. I'm going to predict 1963. Whoa, and I did get it right, so normally these are between 62 and 64, so that was a good call, but unfortunately not too valuable of a call. I'm not even sure what the real varieties are on the Canadians, but we got 38 rolls to go in the first box. And maybe as a reward for that good call, very next roll, we're going to get another reveal. One cool thing is that all of the ones that we found today, outside of some of the enders, have been ones that I can reveal live. This one, 1940, so it's got a little bit of something going on up there in the top that doesn't look great, but a 1940 wheat penny is still pretty cool in my book. And a quick tough condition add-on here, a 1958 D, the D meaning from Denver, so in Colorado, wheat penny. And there's the back, but this one we did find on its face. And nothing crazy to report here, but another face-up late 50s wheaty find, 1956 here. On some of these dates, you can see if there's a BIE. I found one really notable BIE before, but that's a little kind of die break in the Liberty. Nothing special here, though. And almost as soon as I made that comment about having all reveals, everything started showing up on the obverse side. So we've got a 1953. This one's really marked. It's looked chipped or something. Definitely seen better days, but it's another wheat penny that I'll be picking out of circulation today. Around 3 rolls later, we're going to make the complement. So the 1953 D Denver coin is also going to be found in this lot. So I'm not sure if this will be a new inclusion in the album, but it would be great to start hitting some Indian head cents or older wheat pennies. And at this point, I kind of want to re-jinx or whatever myself, because all of them are coming up face up, and I definitely enjoy doing a reveal. But 1957 wheat penny, something a little funny with the 9, maybe a die break or something. And then on the back, we got some good-looking wheat ears, but we've also found some of the 2009s. We got one there, and we got another one here, though I'll generally throw these back at the end, but that's where we're at. To give you a little sense of where we are, 26 rolls left in the first box. And we did hit a run with a fair amount of no finds, but in this roll we found a 1993 Canadian cent, and then we do get one to reveal here, so we'll be able to flip this over, and it's a 1955. I think we already have that one in our folder for sure, but it's still a good way to get back on track in the latter half of this first box. And I already put away the contents, but the ender that I had showed you before was a 1948. We weren't sure what that last digit was going to be, and then in addition, a 1976 Canadian cent. And here's another flip for you guys. So this one does not look super old, but I could see it being maybe a 40s cent, and it is not 1956, though I guess the amount of wear that something like 70 versus 60 years old is not going to be super different. But still another wheat penny, and I think that makes 3 rolls in a row with a wheat cent. Make that 4 in a row. Now we're going on a little bit of a streak here almost, and yet another reveal. 1946, so definitely not anything crazy, but if we could hit more. I think my record for a in-a-row series has been 7 wheat penny rolls in a row, so we'll see if that can keep up today. If we can match that or go over, that would be awesome. And unfortunately, the streak was broken, but this is 2 rolls later. We've got another reverse showing, 1958D, so though it might look a little bit worn, 1958 is the last date that they made the coins with the wheat cent variety. It was from 1909 to 1958. So we're getting a really good ending to this box, a 1942 on its head, and it almost looks a little bit altered, but I think it's a little bit damaged or something. And then we'll check out this reverse, wheat penny on the back, and it's a 1956, one of the more common dates, so nothing crazy, but 2 pennies. I think that's the first time we got 2 Wheaties in one roll today. And with only 3 rolls left, we're going to get another reveal. Very, very good end, actually, here. 1952, so again, nothing really special, but yet another wheat penny. I've never found an Indian head cent literally ever when coin roll hunting, so I'd really like to do that. And obviously some cool mint marks or something to add to those folders would be cool, too. And after a super, super good box, first box with a total of 16 wheat pennies and 11 Canadians, we took about 9 rolls to get our first wheat penny, that one being a 1953 D made in Denver. Some interesting toning, actually, when I looked at it from that angle, but we'll see what else we can find. And right here we have another wheat penny to reveal, hoping that it's an earlier one, 1950, so not a date we've seen, I don't think, in this hunt today, but also not super old. And a little bit more excitement for me, we got another wheat penny on its back in decent shape, 1957D, so that's probably the most common, I'd say, maybe 56D and 57D in terms of the ones that we find from the Denver Mint mark, or Denver Mint, I should say. But there you have it. And a slightly unusual find here, we got a 1953 Canadian penny. So there's the front of the coin, but a very cool, definitely older. You know, normally I'd say we get some from the 60s, but a 50s is definitely a more rare find. And check that out. I don't really know these Canadian pennies super well, but that looks like it is definitely one of the older ones at George 6. So we'll flip it over. 1949. That's really cool. So again, you know, I probably would pick a wheat penny, but hey, if it's an older Canadian one, I'm always happy to pick something like that out as well. So very pleased that we got this one. This one's going to be a face-up find, but it is a 1945 wheat penny. A little bit of a marking on the back there, but another solid pickup here. We've got about 21 rolls in total left, so we'll see if we can, you know, have another resurgence like the end of that last first box. And another flip for you guys, so we'll see. This one could be older, I'm not exactly sure. It does look a little more worn than normal, and it's not really going to be anything. 1951D, that might be a new one for the folder though, I'm not sure, but a decent find there with now I think it's 19 rolls left. And we have another double header almost. We have a 1952D, neat pickup there, and then we're going to be able to flip this one over, see what we have here, a 1942 no mint mark. And another penny to check the front of, not expecting too much here given the condition of the back, and I was kind of right there. We got a 1957D, and now we have 2 rolls that have enders that we're going to do, and 7 that, you know, we have no idea what's inside, so let's see what happens. 3 rolls later, we do have a non-ender find, and it's going to manifest in the form of a 1939. Awesome. So that's our first pre-1940, sneaking in there by 1 year, but that's still a really good find because, you know, that's definitely considered a little bit better than your 1940 through 58 wheat penny. And we're getting another really nice end half of this last box. This one, a 1950, still a wheat cent, and we've got 2 more guaranteed still to go. Very next roll, I'm just going to keep this sweet and short, but a 1949 wheat penny find. And the ender roll where we did know what was one of them was 1956D. We knew about that. 1978 Canadian, and then this one is not something that I realized was here before opening. Another 1956D. So that makes 2 for that roll. And in our last roll, the only one that was a wheat cent was the one that we knew about, and it's a 1946. So I'm just going to do some quick calculations, and I'll be back with the recap soon. So now let's go to the final results. We had 3 of the 2009 pennies. We also had a bunch of different Canadian ones, the older ones being the 49, 53, and 63. but we did get kind of a nice assortment, and I might end up buying a Canadian penny album as well to try to slowly fill out. I think our total is 25 on the day. Then for the wheat pennies, you've seen all of them individually. We got 30 total, 19 from the 50s, so definitely a lot from the 50s. Normally, I'd say it's more split evenly between the 50s and 40s, and then we got some of the ones in the 40s. I think the only one that's actually going to be slotting into our album is this 1949 penny, and then we got one pre-1940, which was just 1 year prior in 1939 to conclude a very solid hunt. We didn't really have too many flashy finds, but we did get 15 per box and some cool Canadians. So I'm pretty happy overall with these boxes, and I'll definitely be doing a lot more hunts coming up soon. Going to be going through a total of $1,000 in pennies I have waiting, so that'll be fun. Thanks for watching the video. If you haven't already, I'd encourage you to like, comment, and subscribe, and stay in contact with me on my Instagram, TreasureTownYT, Facebook, TreasureTown, or my website, TreasureTownYT.com. And I love receiving packages from you guys. I'll unbox them in a video once I get enough, and my address for that is TreasureTown, P.O. Box 201, Greenwich, Connecticut, 06836. So I'll see you on some of my other videos.